Good evening. Good evening, esteemed guests and members of the PSQ Nation. Welcome once again to the monthly webinar of the Philippine Society for Equality. Please express enthusiasm by typing women along with your location in the comment box. For instance, type women from Manila, Philippines, and we look forward to recognizing you shortly. Please note that an e-certificate will be provided at the end of the webinar upon completion of the online evaluation form. And welcome to the PSQ Nation. This the next slide will highlight the exceptional leaders of the Philippines dedicated to the noble task of nation building. Their unwavering commitment and visionary leadership have significantly contributed to the progress and unity of their respective organizations and our nation in general. I am Dr. Zandra Manuez, the Vice President for Philippine Quality Award Administration of the Philippine Society for Quality, and I'll be your guide through today's inspirational journey. And we, of course, extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the attendees and sponsors of our successful general membership meeting, which took place on February 24, 2024 at Linden Suites Ortigas. Your participation and support were invaluable to the event's success. Today is a joyous and empowering occasion as we come together to celebrate International Women's Day, honoring the remarkable achievements and contributions of women across the globe. In celebration of this special day, the Society is thrilled to introduce the PSQ Challenge, which you will be seeing in your next slide. This is exclusively for the amazing women in our community. We invite you to join the Strike a Post challenge by creating a hot post and sharing it with us. This is your chance to win fantastic prizes courtesy of unwritten apparel accessories. Let's celebrate your spirit and your creativity. And today's monumental learning session is brought to you by the Philippine Society for Equality with generous support from the PSQ Foundation and FH Moms, a Filipina home-based moms. So once again, welcome to the electrifying international webinar titled Influence and Impact: How Women Leaders Shape the Future of Work, in celebration of the International Women's Day 2024, organized by the Philippine Society for Quality, and we are all delighted to have you with us. Tonight, there's an insightful presentation to conclude your day or kickstart the night for some. Today, we are gathered to celebrate the incredible achievements of women leaders who are not just shaping but revolutionizing the future of work. With the world evolving at an unprecedented pace, the insights from our trailblazing speakers today promise not only to inspire, but also to empower each of us to drive change in our spheres of influence. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's gear up for an evening of groundbreaking stories, strategic insights, and collaborative spirit that spans across continents and industries. Whether you're tuning in from the comfort of your home or joining us from your workplaces around the globe, you're part of a community that champions equality, innovation, and leadership. Without further ado, let's introduce our empowering speakers who are at the forefront of leadership and innovation. Our first speaker is a multi-awarded social entrepreneur, a finalist in the finalist startup competition in the Philippines, the Final Pitch Season 4, and a cohort of AIM Dato Banatam. Isip, Ashoka, Facebook Accelerator, Alibaba, Youth-led, and several ASEAN programs. She's also a business and career trainer, speaker, mentor, startup advocate, and ambassadress of Canva and other local and international brands. Most importantly, she is the CEO and founder of Filipina Home-Based Moms, the first and biggest freelancing group for Pinay moms with 500,000 members globally. And she recently joined Get Hired, an automated recruitment platform, as a co-founder. Mommy MK is passionate about helping stay-at-home corporate overseas moms and the youth sector thrive in their chosen careers, either as an entrepreneur or freelancer, so that they can earn enough without leaving their families. She is a woman with strong advocacy to change the world, one mom at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome MK Bertolf.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar tonight. I'm so glad to be here, and I'd like to greet all the women in this Zoom call. A happy Women's Month.
Thank you so much, Miss MK. Our second research person is a serial entrepreneur, staffing and recruitment expert, international mergers and acquisitions expert, charter holder, operations maven, and a marketing genius. She's currently partner and chief marketing officer of Staffing Venture Capital, a multi-million dollar staffing firm based and Army leading digital marketing solution. She was recognized as a top 30th most influential Filipino to follow on LinkedIn in 2021, with the 100 most influential Filipino women on LinkedIn in 2022, and as one of the top 30 leaders on LinkedIn in 2023. Her work has managed to scale companies and build healthy work environments, promote innovation, and encourage productivity within the organization. Her mission is to produce more people focused leaders and transform individuals to become trailblazers, innovators, and leaders of their own. As a keynote speaker and mentor, Sybil Waris Good has engaged with various events such as Next for Universities, the Global Grid Webinar Series, CEO Summit Manila, Tectonic Summit, Impact Hackathon, and more, sharing her expertise in staffing and recruiting, M&A, leadership, operational excellence, and organizational culture. PSQ Nation, please welcome Sibyl Gatgood.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. So looking forward to a awesome discussion tonight. I'm just so honored to be here with my fellow speakers, MK and Jamie. This is going to be fun, and a happy International Women's Day to all.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sibyl. Our third resource person is the founder and manager of E2E Training Consultancy Services, a senior HR learning and development manager, a public speaking global trainer, and a career and workplace excellence coach. She completed the master training program from the Master Training Institute and received various recognitions as a training consultant and business skills training facilitator. She has trained almost 40,000 leaders, employees, trainers, coaches, entrepreneurs, and brand ambassadors from 130 plus nationalities. The leaders and stakeholders she worked with describe her sessions as stand-out training that effectively engaged their team members who contributed the learnings to the workplace. And she has worked for famous international brands in the UAE, the UK, Seychelles, and the USA for 13 more years. She is the first Filipino learning and development manager of the Disney Cruise Line. She is a member of the Philippine Society for Quality, an advisory board member of the Vloggers Academy, and a former member of the Association of Talent and Development and SHRM. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Iris Galias. Hi, Miss Jamie.
Hi, Doc Sans. Thank you so much. And hi to all the PSQ Nation, to all the women out there. Happy International Women's Day. And to all my fellow panelists, I'm so excited to listen to your insights and to chat together.
Thank you so much to our three resource speakers, and welcome to the heart of today's event, our panel discussion. As we are celebrating the 2024 International Women's Day, let's delve into the minds of our esteemed panelists. And today they will share with us their journeys, challenges, and insights, offering us a unique lens through which we can view the impact of women leaders in today's rapidly changing professional world. So if you have any questions, kindly drop them in the chat box, as we will be delving deeper into how these women are into how these women leaders are crafting the future of work. So without further ado, let's embark on this journey of discovery, inspiration, and empowerment. Are you ready, girls? Our first question to the panel is let's reflect on your journey. Okay, let's reflect on your journey. Can you share a pivotal moment in your career that significantly influenced your leadership style and approach? So anyone can start. We can start with um Miss Civil. How about your can you share your leadership style and your approach?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I think you were talking about, a pivotal moment in my career.
Yes.
And I have a very interesting story because that pivotal moment was actually in 2016, one of my employees, I was a startup founder, and I had a very small team, about a dozen people who worked underneath me. And one of my employees called me a bad boss. And it was
Mm-hmm.
really, really disheartening for me to hear because, first of all, I was this person's employer and she got a job because of me. But
Mm-hmm.
I asked my mentor, am I a bad boss? Like, why is she saying this? And it made me realize, it made me actually go into deep introspection. My mentor said, well, if you look at your social media, if you look at everything about you online, you're out partying, you're not doing anything for other people, it's all for yourself. You talk about culture, but what do you actually do? And I went into this deep introspective phase, and I actually had to look at myself and look at how I was portraying myself to other people. And I saw that there was nothing there. And this was this rock bottom moment in my life that I made a complete shift in everything. I had to completely disassociate myself from the former and completely transform who I was. So it was my habits, my learning. I had to completely change myself as a leader. And who I am today is a very different person. But it took that rock bottom moment in my life to shape who I am today.
Wow, that's a nice characteristic of a leader. Deep introspection, right? It should allow us leaders to understand our motives, our strengths, our weaknesses, and I'm very happy that you have experienced that because to you've learned to love yourself. You've learned to know yourself more, right? The self-awareness is very important for us to foster authentic leadership and so that we could also build trust within our team. Thank you so much, Ms. Sybil. How about you, Ma'am Jeannie?
Wow. When we look back on how or what influence or what is the pivotal moment in my leadership
Mhm.
career, for me, I can simply say when I went overseas and worked there since 2008. So it was really a game changer simply because here in the Philippines, I appreciate a lot on how I was equipped as a leader. But when you work overseas, especially the first country I worked for is I was in the UAE. So it's different. It was not in the US, it was not in Europe, it was in the Middle East. So I realized that as a leader, it's not enough that you already have that leadership skills from the beginning. But when you move from one place to another, you have to ensure that you learn how to adjust. When I say have to adjust, like when I went overseas, so for everyone who's listening, if you are in the Philippines right now and maybe planning to work overseas, these are the things that you have to take into consideration that I only realized when I was actually there. So you can continuously enhance your leadership skills because just like what I've said, it's a different ballgame because you will not be leading only Filipinos, but you will be leading like different nationalities. Depends on the company. Like the first company I worked with, we had 30 plus nationalities. And then when I worked to my next company, that is the airlines, we have 130 plus nationalities. So I worked for the national airlines of the UAE. It was very interesting because during that time, I was learning too that leadership or having that manager title is not enough. Oh, that's another thing. When I went overseas, I've realized because in the Philippines, it's more on managerial. When during my generation, everyone, huh? So during my generation, when I actually came from the Philippines, the emphasis was more on managerial skills, managerial, being a manager. that it's that always working for them. But when I went overseas, one thing I really appreciated overseas is that they practice leadership and development, and they really do. So it means that from the way they call each other, we call each other, we don't call Mr., Miss, Ma'am. It's just like first name based, depends again on the company. That was an eye opener for me as a leader that, oh, there's a difference between managerial and leadership, and we should combine it because that's our role. But at the same time, you should understand the different team members. So we don't call them staff only. We don't call them employees. They're team members because we work together. And lastly, of course, the strategy of being inclusive, whether whatever country you may be, that changed my leadership skills simply because I've learned that I need to improve, like step up my game from communication styles, from understanding my leadership skills, from understanding also the different personalities and other techniques and strategies so that at least I could lead my team even better. So hoping also what I'm sharing for those maybe new in the international leadership, that could also help you because that helped me a lot because leading multicultural workforce is not as easy as leading the Filipinos. But if you're able to do it, wow, the impact and influence that you'll have in the workplace will be tremendous.
Wow, those are fantastic tips, Ms. Rainy, and I can envision that those you have shared as a tough environment. You know, you're
Yes.
working overseas as a woman somehow teaches us adaptability, cultural sensitivity also, and resilience. But because it challenges us, and it will also promote independence. To our speakers, if you want to jump in the discussion, you can feel it and so that let's make this as light as possible. Okay, now let's move on to Mom MK. Hi, Miss MK. What's your thoughts on this one?
Hi. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember what is that pivotal moment in my career that, that I could say that I'm a leader because I feel that I'm an accidental leader, to be honest, since I don't have any managerial or leadership background, but I was working in the corporate. I started working at an early age because I was a breadwinner. I experienced working for two different call center companies. So um uh I'm doing two jobs at the same time. And when I transitioned from call center to freelancing, that was the time that I also started FH Moms, or Filipino based moms, which is a Facebook community. So it's kind of different, having this kind of online community is something that I can say that um, helped me build my leadership skills. So I wasn't really aware that I'm actually building this kind of community. Earlier, it was mentioned that we have now 500,000 members, and I was able to, lead different kind of projects as well as initiatives. And it's totally different when you're in the corporate. I'm also working with two different teams now with FH Moms and Get Hired with, which is my other startup company. But I'd like to share that moment when I realized that okay, this is the time that I'll be a leader now, and I'll be leading a community of women.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to identify what kind of leadership style and approach will it be, since I wasn't able to get any leadership training in the past. So I'm just trying to figure it out myself. So I realized that all I need to do is just to be kind and compassionate with our members, since this are all women, these are all moms. They came from different background, they have different challenges. So all I have to do is just listen to them and be kind all the time, because many of them are suffering from mental health issues. Many are trying to look for someone who could support them. So from then on, I started to inject that core value inside our community. So, for example, in our group, the only group rule that we have, or golden rule, is just to be kind and respect each other, and it works for all of the programs and projects that we have. That is our main core value. So for me, that is also something that I follow in terms of my leadership style, and the rest follows.
Wow, that's so amazing. You have built your own community of moms who are uh looking forward to your tips probably, or to the sharing of your of all the women who are part of your community. So with your discussion, ma'am, I think owning your leadership skill, this it also involves continuous learning, for self-reflection, as mentioned by Sibyl a while ago, and a lot of practice, because we have to, yeah, develop our effective communication, emotional intelligence, and decision-making capabilities. So from the first discussion on reflecting on your journey, I got 3 points, one of which is self-awareness and leadership, as emphasized by Sibyl and MK. And another one is doing global experiences that shape our leadership, and the continuous improvement of leadership skills or leadership skill. Yeah. Do you agree, girls, ladies?
Definitely.
Yeah. How about in terms of navigating challenges as a woman leader? What are some of the unique challenges you faced in your career, and how did you overcome them?
Should we go in the same order?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely love this question because at the moment I sit on 4 executive leadership teams. I own 3 businesses and I'm partners with another business. And in all of these partnerships and teams, I'm probably the only woman.
Wow.
And the major challenge is you constantly feel like you're having to fight for your place in that team. You're constantly having to fight for your thoughts because, man, they can, band together, and more often than not, they'll have the same type of thinking. And as the only woman, I'm completely divergent from the group. And so it feels like in nearly every single day, I have to fight and fight and fight and fight. To give you an example, my husband, who also works in our business, it's our business, but we have a board. When he joined us, he got chief people officer almost immediately. But for me to get chief marketing officer, it took me years and years and business cases after business cases, despite me actually being the #1 person in the company who runs everything. So my #1 challenge is having to fight for my place. And how I overcome it is through several things. First, continuous learning. Every single day, I read books, I listen to podcasts, I network, I talk to a lot of people, I constantly sharpen myself. Second, I practice high-performing habits. Not only do I keep learning, I do yoga, I do a lot of creative things to keep myself motivated and energized, because I know that when I show up to work, I know that I'm going to have to fight. And third is I practice self-love and appreciation. I know after every single day, I would have already experienced a battle. So I actually say, you're going to reward yourself. You're going to tell yourself you've done a good job and it's okay. So those are the 3 things. My major challenge is having to fight for my role every day. And that's how I overcome it.
Yeah, we always have to fight for our role. But one thing I've learned from you is that we all have to be assertive, right? And we need to have that confidence to clearly articulate our ideas, and we have to stand firm on our decisions, because that confidence, that command respect, and then later on that will diminish their doubts. We can do it, right? How about you, Miss Jamie?
Yes, I love the question too, because all of us encounter something that hinders us to move forward to where we want to go. So I love the word navigating and the word challenge, because for me, mindset is very important.
Yeah.
That is how I overcome challenges. Because just imagine this, everyone who's watching, if you take a look at any problem as a difficulty, as a concern or anything that is negative before you even start, solving it or giving resolution, how do you feel? Diba? It's so negative already. So I think that's the first one. How did I navigate my challenges is I ensure that instead of looking at it as a problem, initial reaction as a human being, oh my, it's so difficult. Oh, this is a problem. But I choose before I even open my mouth, if it just crosses my mind, I always say, okay, this is another challenge. Now, how do I move? Because navigate, right? We go from point A to point B. So where do I want to go? Jamie, where would you want to go? So I must be very clear with my goal. If I'm clear with my goal, that motivates me, that fuels me and drives me, even no matter how challenging it may be, to overcome it. So the first few challenges I've had as a leader in the Philippines, it was easier because, again, we're leading Filipinos. So although there will still be challenges in terms of course, getting to know the different personalities of the team members, but it was more challenging for me when when I started in the UAE, cultural awareness. That's one, because I thought I knew, but no, it's different when you're actually there. So from the cultural awareness, from the language, because people will be talking, communication is key. So in leadership, you will have to know you don't only talk one way, it must be two ways. So do they understand you? If they say yes, that's easy. But if they do the gesture, they do have different gestures in their head that seems yes to us and no to them, or no to us and yes to them. So for those who worked overseas, you know what I'm talking about. So those nuances in communication were a challenge to me. So in order for me to navigate through it, so I have to increase my cultural awareness. And I told myself, okay, start from level 1. Even if you'd already had that leadership skills in the Philippines, don't be afraid to start again. I was thinking, why? Because I want to be the best leader that I could be. When I actually flew overseas, everyone, even if we have the officer or managerial position here in the Philippines, usually they won't give that to you overseas because they will first take a look. Do you have what it takes to handle and lead multicultural workforce? Because they said, yes, you're an officer in the Philippines for training, but how many nationalities were you leading? So here they said, we will give you like a probationary 6 months, and then you have to go through all the certifications and trainings for a leader, and we will see if you're able to lead the 30 plus nationalities. So that was also another challenge. And actually, when the director for HR told me that, I said, I'll take on the challenge. Why? I love my profession. It's a passion that I do. I want to equip, empower people for excellence. And I believe I was called outside the Philippines as simply not to only lead Filipinos, but other nationalities. So I said to myself, this is where I want to go. Point A to point B. It was not easy. So 6 months to a year, I attended all the trainings, but at the same time, there are like non-course, like it's not a formal course, but I got to get to know my fellow other nationalities, so I can understand them better. So communication, and then what other challenges is our nationality too. I have to be very honest. If you are in a man's world, just like what Sibyl had mentioned a while ago, she's in the boardroom like Sibyl, it's quite challenging. Just imagine if you're in a country where it's male dominated too, and not only the industry. So becoming a leader, they're not quite used to seeing a Filipino in my position as a leader. So that's another way. It's like you're always proving yourself. I can really relate and empathize with Sibyl. It's like you already have it, but there are times you have to really prove and ensure that you show them you're consistent, because they don't easily buy in who you are. And then that's a challenge too, because how easy it will be for us. Can you please just accept us for who we are? But ladies, it's not always the case, because it was always like man who's leading, but don't give up. We can do it. So I was able to do that. And now I am in charge in the US, so I will be flying back to the US very soon. My role is to lead leaders, managers, and leaders to equip them to ensure that they are not only managing, but they're also leading. And I'll be definitely working hand in hand with the executive team, the senior leaders, and the other leaders. It's a long journey, everyone, but that is how I navigated through challenges. First is through the mindset, because remember, from the mind, it affects the heart. How we will act, or what our emotions will be when we're dealing with the challenges. And lastly, it will affect our actions, whether it's action per se by hands and feet and the mouth, what we will say. So that's how I usually navigate challenges.
Wow, those are amazing challenges. You have navigated through those challenges with grace and determination. So yeah, I got two things from you, Miss Jamie. Positive mindset that emphasizes the strength in us as a woman. This encourages this help us enable to navigate and overcome barriers, as I've mentioned, with grace and determination. And also another thing is having cultural awareness, because this will promote or foster an inclusive environment. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Jamie. How about you, Ma'am MK?
I'm pretty sure many of us here would agree that finding the right people is one of the major challenges women leaders as well as business owners are facing. No? And it's the same. When I started FH Moms 7 years ago as a Facebook community, I started working with volunteers. So these are moderators who's helping me with the task that we needed to do. It was 2018, so after a year that I started working with our trainers. Since there's a lot of demand, I started teaching about online job in our community alone. And then when they requested if I could do other trainings, that was the only time that I started pooling for mommy trainers. And it wasn't really official when I worked with these trainers. I couldn't say that they are my team or they are my employees, stuff like that. So the setup is kind of different. But I consider them as part of my team. We started working together until pandemic came, and then we transitioned from sole prop to a corporate, and that was the time that I started hiring people that could actually help me full time. So it's kind of hard because again, I don't have any experience in the corporate. I don't have managerial experience, so I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to react whenever people are living, if you know what I mean. I don't know where to find the right people. And these people that we're talking about are all online. We're 100% remote in the community and even now in the company. So the community building itself, my experience working with different kind of people online and my international clients somewhat helped me uh, in navigating the strategies that I need um, to uh, to do in terms of hiring people. I think the most helpful tip that I could provide you as a business owner or as a leader is to find a good HR. So the moment that I was able to hire a really good HR, that was the time that I'm able to build a team that is strong, that can do so many things for our community as well as our company. The second challenge that I could share with you is similar with Sibyl and the JB, which is entering a male dominated industry. So since I don't have any idea about what I'm doing at first, what I did is I started joining accelerator programs as well as pitching competitions. So this is where I got a free mentorship. I was able to meet a lot of potential partners as well as investors. This is also I got the free money that I was able to use to expand our community as well as the business itself. So with that, I can say that it is challenging because majority of the founders who's part of the program are all male founders, and since it's tech startup, all of their solutions or their businesses are heavy when it comes to technology, and mine was like just a community, a social enterprise, and I was trying to figure out what should I do to inject tech inside FH Moms. I was able to figure it out now. We have our own platform where we host all of our courses, because before all of our courses are done in different Facebook groups, so it's kind of manual. But now that I have Get Hired, which I can say is fully automated, and it's heavy when it comes to different tech features. I'm more confident now to be in this kind of industry, and I always encourage other moms, as well as all the women in my network, to also try to be in this kind of tech industry.
Wow. MK, a woman founder. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Finding the right people also involves identifying individuals who should possess the necessary skills and experience that are also aligned with your coach, with the community that you're building. You should also espouse the values of the community that you have founded. Okay, so from this navigating challenge, from this perspective, so we can learn from this discussion. This will highlight essential strategies and mindsets on how did you overcome challenges, particularly for women in leadership and in building effective teams. So as you have mentioned, securing an executive position as a woman, this would necessitate a blend of assertiveness, confidence, and resilience. And we need to also have the right mindset when facing challenges. And also we need to find the right people who can be with us as we journey on this community. Okay, moving forward, in terms of impactful leadership, how do you believe women leaders contribute uniquely to the workplace, fostering a more inclusive and collaborative environment?
All
So we
right.
can start to go.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll be the first one to take it. So the question was impactful leadership, and so how do women create the inclusivity in the workplace?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have a really interesting story again, because just a few weeks ago, I gave about a dozen promotions and raises in our company.
Wow.
Yeah, and the awesome thing about this is, out of the dozen people, half of which are women who rose into leadership. So I think there's 2 who rose into director level roles, and about 4 who entered in managerial roles. I actually have 1 in audience today in the Zoom. Um, and and that is so important to have, because you want diversity in the workplace. You want diversity in leadership. As I told you earlier, I sit on multiple boards, and I'm the only woman executive in every single one of those boards. And what I do as a leader to create inclusivity is I make more female leaders. I literally mentor females and give them that opportunity. I can tell you right now, out of that 6 people that I promoted, only 1 felt like she was ready to be a director, and everybody else said that they weren't ready. But I said, you know what? You don't have to be ready. I've got you. I have your hand. I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. I've created the opportunity. You step up and I hold your hand. And
Wow.
it's so important that we create this in the workplace, because the more that you lift women leaders up, the more that they create other women leaders.
Yeah, as women leaders, it's essential that we uplift and support one another. That's a very nice thing you have shared, Mama. How about the others?
I definitely agree with Sybil when it comes to, how women contribute uniquely to the workplace. And I think on how can we ensure that leadership is impactful. So if it's a male-dominated industry, or let us just say even like an industry where there is male and female, sometimes as women, we must have that confidence. But let us admit it, if women is just transitioning from a rank and file to supervisory to managerial, then in order for us to help contribute to one's impactful leadership as a learning and development professional, I believe training is a must. So there should be transitioning, not like training for transition, so that at least they know what to let go as a rank and file employee. And at the same time, what are the supervisory skills that they need to now have and practice. Then there should be a support also in the department from their leaders, so that at least, because again, they're just new. So there should be someone who will be coaching them, and there's someone should be mentoring them too, because there's are two different aspects. So coaching simply means someone who has that who can actually take a look to see how they're building that skill, maybe from one section to another, and at the same time someone who will mentor them, who had been in that same position a long time back. So that will be very helpful. And not only that, so aside from that, it's also very important, like how I usually help women who might come from, because again, there are different types of women. If some women came from our country or Southeast Asia, so you will know the possible type of leadership styles and communication styles that they have. So I will make it a point to equip them on what they need to how to fine tune it, depending on what country we are. Because it's different in Middle East, it's different when I'm in Europe or when I am in the US. So I will tell them how they can adjust and what do they need to be aware when it comes to the culture, so that at least they will not unintentionally offend their team members or other leaders. And whenever they try to communicate, so that their voice will be heard and their voices will not be ignored, so they should communicate in such a way it's effective. So what does effective communication mean for their role? So as a trainer too, I ensure that I train them when it comes to communication skill that will match their level. So again, from supervisor, if they become now a manager, and then manager to senior manager. So everyone who's listening, don't be afraid to ask support from your learning and development manager or training manager or the HR team. So MK just mentioned, if you have an HR team who is, strong enough to support you, they're there for your development, because we actually need it. From there, because, before you could actually have an impact, that's impactful leadership, right? We're talking about, you have to have that confidence first to communicate to your team members so that you can actually lead and they will follow. And then after that, your influence will increase. And once your influence increases, then the impact will follow. So I hope that helps, and looking for that everyone will now knock on the doors by Monday of their learning and development or HR team. Programs for you.
Thank you so much, Miss Jamie. We extend our gratitude to all the women leaders who are tirelessly dedicating themselves to the professional development of female employees. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jamie, for sharing that one. How about you, Ma'am MK?
Okay, I don't want to be biased because I'm a mom and I'm a woman, but uh, I can say that women are natural, caretakers as well as nurturers. And it's important to have, a woman leader inside a community, a corporation, or any kind of business. All because only us women can understand fellow women. So it's important, especially when it comes to policy making. All of these policies that we have are, especially if it's dedicated for women, will be beneficial if it's crafted by a woman. And there's a lot of things that we have to consider in the workplace that will help women to be able to be better when it comes to their jobs. And I'm just so happy that there are a lot of policies in the workplace, either it's on site or online, where it will help women, especially moms, to be able to prove that they can they can still, work and at the same time take care of their family. So in FH Moms, for example, in our team, whenever we have team meetings, hearing all the noises from the kids is not an issue. So it's okay for us, since we understand that. And whatever we have to have vacation leave, it's important for us to be able to provide that kind of leave for our members, because we know how important breaks or mental health leave are. So for us, being able to um, have someone, especially a woman in the workplace, to have that kind of have that kind of characteristic, being able to nurture her fellow workers is very important.
I agree, Ms. MK. Having women in business is crucial as they bring unique perspectives
Mhm.
and understanding, particularly in addressing the needs and challenges faced by fellow women. And this insight is invaluable because whenever we create products, services, and policies, it is important that these are inclusive, right? That they are responsive also to the diverse needs of our customers. Okay, thank you so much for all those sharings. And now moving forward into mentorship and support. Have you had mentors? Some of you have shared a while ago already that you have trained or mentored your co-female workers. But how important for you is mentorship for women leaders?
So for me, mentorship is extremely significant.
Yeah.
So just to give you a quick backstory, my biological father passed away when I was very young. And so I grew up in a household of very strong and independent women. My mom was in public service. She was the president of a college in Bacolod, which is where I'm from. And she was also a civic and humanitarian leader. And at a very young age, she basically, the one thing that she kept repeating and repeating to me is, I'm not raising you just to be an entrepreneur or a professional. I'm raising you to be a woman of substance and impact. And I've taken that since my youth, and I've applied that to who I am today. And my mom has not only been my role model, but she's been my source of strength and inspiration as I lead multiple companies today. Second, as I was a teenager, I actually started in the workplace because an American flew to Bacolod City, which is where I'm from, and started a company there. And I was 17 when I first joined this call center, which is basically part of the company that I own today. And it was this person, our CEO, who basically took me from being a province girl of a third world country to the person I am today. He literally exposed me to the world. So just like Jamie was saying, once you get cross-cultural experiences, it's mind-blowing. Everything becomes so different. And it was this mentor of mine who took me from having small town province thinking to all of a sudden an international executive who thinks a multifaceted way. And it's so important to, if you don't have a mentor today, seek out one, because that mentor is going to take you under their wing. They're going to not only give you advice and guidance, they're going to increase your network. They're going to expose you to different things. And at the very least, impart with you wisdom that you would have never had access to. So my advice to you, if you don't have a mentor, or if you have a mentor and feel like you need more, seek out mentorship today, because it is single-handedly the most transformative aspect of my life, having a mentor.
Thank you so much, Miss Sibyl. Yeah, I agree with you. We have to be if we have a mentor, we have to be profoundly grateful to them because they have dedicated themselves to supporting and nurturing the growth of women in our professional journey. And if you don't have a mentor, find one. So may I just remind our participants, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat box and we will read them later. Okay, now moving forward, let's go to Miss Jamie.
I cannot help but smile when I'm listening to see this story because just like you know, I'm my role model. Aside from, of course, one professional leader that I've had is my mom too. So my mom is a single mom, and as an eldest also, the eldest in the family, the strength that I've seen how she had, you know, how she actually, uh, how she did her best to help us grow. That definitely is something beyond what books can actually teach you. And MK was sharing a while ago, like there are times you don't really know. It's like you're in that situation and you're just learning leadership, right? I think my mom also experienced the same. She didn't know how to, of course, initially raise like three kids, but with the determination and the goal that she has in mind, she was able to do that. And the resiliency I saw in her helped me translate that also in my professional life. And the wisdom, the lessons, they say mothers knows, they know always the best. So she always tells me like what are the things that I should do when I first stepped in the corporate world. She like some simple but very uh wise teaching that she shared to me that until now helped me thrive in the corporate world is she always say just ensure that just say positive things all the time. Think something positive even if you don't really like the behavior of some people. Of course, you assertively tell them, but never ever backstab anyone. And if you hear anyone backstab someone else in front of you, be careful, she said. Because when you're not looking or when you're not around, maybe that person also might do the same. So simple things such as that, words of wisdom based from her experiences, that really helped me a lot. And I know who to trust, and at the same time, how I value also the trust of other people. So my mom, from her example, like honesty, integrity, the time that she actually gives value. I think since I was young, I was trained. She mentored me because mentorship, everyone means lifeline professional, personal, they help you out. So just like what Sibyl had mentioned also a while ago, when you're in the workplace, it doesn't make you less of a person if you find a mentor. Actually, it will help you propel your career even faster because the mentors, try to find someone you feel comfortable with and they also have that like advanced skill that you want to reach or achieve later on. And then why do I say relationship? Because mentorship is not forced on someone. So that person must be willing to actually mentor you, to guide you to grow in your profession. So if you find that person and that person actually is willing to mentor you, then that's a great blessing because that can make you walk in the path more confidently and they can help you steer away from pitfalls that they have fallen already because they will equip you how to go faster or to move faster to the direction that you actually want to go. So mentors are very important. I can simply say uh, my first two great mentors were in the Philippines. So before I went overseas, I'm so thankful that they mentored me because I am more equipped to face other nationalities and to lead them. So they showed me what to do, what not to do, and they were honest enough to tell me that Jamie, this like one of the things that my mentor had mentioned, whenever you approach me, if there's a problem, don't hesitate. Just make sure that you always, tell me if there's a problem. But I never want you to go and approach me if there's a problem and you don't have any solution that you've thought of. So that's something I've heard. And one thing I've learned and still doing right now from that mentor, she always said, always have that leveling of expectations with your leader so that at least there will be no confusion, there will be less disappointment, and you can always meet the target. And see, that mentor helped me and it's still helping me until now. So just like Sibyl had mentioned, try to find a mentor right now. If they say yes, yes. That's a great blessing.
Wow, that's a heartwarming story, Miss Jamie. Having a mom as a mentor is uniquely empowering experience, blending the warmth of a maternal support with the wisdom of a seasoned guide, right? How about you, Ma'am MK?
I also would like to, pay tribute to my parents. Though both of them are traditional business owners. I came from a poor family, by the way. So, my mom started working in Saudi Arabia for 2 years when I was young. But when she came back, she had an ovary cancer. She's no longer with us, and unfortunately, she wasn't able to mentor me with my entrepreneurship journey. Growing up,
Mhm.
I see how dedicated they are in terms of doing this doing whatever businesses they are in. We have a sari store before. We have our own apartment house. So a lot of things going on since my mom is also a dressmaker. So when she left us, when I was in first year high school, my dad doesn't have any work experience as well. So he was just supporting us. So mentorship really is not a thing, to be honest. But one thing that I could say that my parents imparted me is uh, they always tell me that I shouldn't be afraid to start small. So that's what I did. I started small. I tried different kind of jobs when I when it was when it was the time for me to start working on a legal age, because I was trying to enter the business world as well as the corporate world at a very young age, until I realized that you cannot do that when you're not 18. So it's funny. So that simple thing I also don't know, and no one is there for me since I have a small family and I don't have much network during that time, of course. So when I had a chance to join this accelerator programs, I was able to get access to a lot of mentors, like different mentors for different aspect of the business. And then we have the moms inside the community helping me with motherhood. So all the friends that I got in the community, in the startup industry, I can consider them as my mentor. I remember when I started pitching for different pitching competitions, I would ask another startup founder to check my pitch deck, to check my script. So I was able to find a mentor during the time. Her name is Jacqueline, and she's a consultant. At first I had to pay for her fees so that she could mentor me until she decided to join the team, and that is how I was able to get access to all of her tips, her expertise. And then I'm just so happy that I am mentoring our community members now, because I remember when I started pitching, I would go to different events, networking events, almost every day for 2 months, just to learn from different people in the industry. So it was really hard to get access to that kind of mentorship. So when it's my time to give back to the community, I always tell them that I'm here to support you. I could teach you with all the preparations that you need, so that you can also have access to that kind of mentorship. So yeah, I highly recommend you to find the mentor, or to join this kind of program, so that it could help you with whatever project you're doing.
Thank you very much, Miss MK, for sharing that one. So our mentors, they will instill confidence in us. They will encourage curiosity, and they will also foster a sense of responsibility, all while providing us a safe space for growth and exploration. Wow, those are incredible insights. And for our three STEM speakers, we have more than 200 plus participants who have joined us, and others are unable to attend due to Zoom limitations. But we are committed to ensuring that everyone has access to this valuable insights shared during this event. So to address this, we will be uploading the entire session to our YouTube channel and our Facebook account. Okay, at this time, we will be entertaining one question from our audience. So if you have some questions to these amazing leaders, kindly drop them in our chat box. Anyone who would like to ask questions? I saw one here, but it's not a question actually. It's a compliment. Miss Deborah says, "How I wish to have a boss like all of you." Thank you so much, Miss Deborah, for your kind words. Anyone who would like to ask questions to our amazing leaders? Let's see. No one wants to ask? All of them are giving you heart react. None? Wow, they are very much satisfied with the insights that you have shared. Okay, so with the time now at 6:56 p.m., do you have any final empowering pieces of advice that you'd like to offer to all our women leaders before we conclude? And you can also promote some of your events and your social media pages.
All right. So I guess last piece of advice for me is um if you are in a position of leadership, please create the space for women. You know, not a lot of companies and organizations listen to women. You know, one of my managers is here on the call today, and she told me, "Hey, Sybil, you know, in my previous company, my managers silenced me. They never wanted to listen to me. As a matter of fact, they belittled my ideas." And, you know, I'm proud to say my company is all about open innovation. And women in our company not only are given the space to ideate, to experiment, to play around, and to innovate, they're given the spotlight. When a woman becomes a leader in our company, we build teams around this woman. And it's when you give women that stage that you can capitalize an untapped genius. So, you know, one of our managers who's here today, you know, she said, my ideas were belittled in my previous company, and I would have never had an opportunity to speak with a client. Today, not only does she single-handedly handle a $100 million revenue client, she handles an entire a team supporting around it. And in her previous business, she would have never had that opportunity. So I urge anyone in leadership, please don't create that stage for women. Give them the liberty to play and innovate. Give them that spotlight, because you don't know what untapped genius there is. So anyway, over to you, Jamie.
Thank you so much, Sibyl, for that. Yes, please do give women that platform, or else they will not be able to shine and show you what they've got, right? What we've got. For me, to all women out there, it also applies to men, but yes, women. I want you to remember this, just 5 things, A, B, C, D, E, A. Acknowledge your talents and skills. You do have it. You do have it. Sometimes you just simply deny it or don't see it. So acknowledge it. That's very important. Your talents and skills. And then B, you believe it. Believe in your abilities. Because if you don't believe in your abilities, who else will? Right? And then C, confidently and courageously face challenges. It's not easy. We women we, the panelists, and even Doc Sans, when we face challenges, sometimes, sometimes fear, nervousness, we experience that, but it takes courage. So I see one of my trainees, and one of my one I met, she's an owner of a business, and I'm mentoring her too, and she attended. So hi, Helen. So I always tell them, courage is not the absence of fear, but it's doing what you need to do in spite of the fear. So again, make sure that you confidently and courageously face your challenges. D, please develop and learn continuously. Because regardless of it's not the age, we're always young. Age is just a number. Continuously love learning and developing. Katulad ng sabi ni MK kanina, don't be afraid of the unknown, because sometimes the experience, it's actually our best teacher, di ba? And then of course, E, embrace. embrace diversity, embrace who you are, and lastly, ladies, you're enough, more than enough. Okay, so that's it for me. So looking forward that you'll be great leaders, like all of us.
Thank you so much, Miss Jamie, for your A to E tips. How about you, Miss MK?
Yes, we've been talking about finding the right people, the right mentor earlier, and I'd like to echo on that as well. Remember to build a strong support system or a support network to help you with whatever project or business you're doing. Someone who could offer guidance as well as encouragement. Surround yourself with the right team members, the right mentors. Because as for myself, that is something that I can say that I'm proud of. I mentioned in the past that I don't have anyone to help me with all the projects that I'm doing, but now I can say that I'm working with the right team. We have local and international partner organizations. We've been working with a lot of brands in the Philippines, and we're talking about big brands here. So yeah, just make sure to surround yourself with not just right people, but positive people that could provide you with all the encouragement that you need.
Thank you so much, Miss MK. Thank you immensely for the insights you have provided, and undoubtedly, this will not only empower but also profoundly inspire our women leaders, equipping them with valuable tools for their leadership journeys. So, before we conclude, let us just acknowledge the one question we have here in Zoom. I saw that one there from Miss Abigail de la Cruz. She's asking, what advice can you give for a young leader like her handling older employees?
Oh my goodness. Yes, would really love to answer this question. So, so I think Jamie said earlier, age is just a number. And first, it starts with you believing in yourself. It doesn't matter what your age is. So I'm 34. I have a lot of 50-year-olds who report underneath me, but I don't think of them as they're a 50-year-old person reporting to a 34-year-old girl. I look at, my value as a leader. How do I enrich their lives? How can I influence them? What value can I bring them to the table? Because at the moment that you create a distance because of that number, the moment that you do that, you diminish yourself. So don't think that because you're younger, it makes you less capable, it makes you less of a leader. If you are in a position of leadership, it's likely because you deserve it. You were instilled in that position. You have to see that value. Once you see that, you build upon your self-esteem, everything else follows. The way that you interact with people completely transforms. The way that you communicate yourself completely transforms. The way that you influence them as a leader completely transforms. So get rid of that limiting belief in your head that just because you're a young person, it's much harder to lead somebody older. Believe that you are there because you deserve to be there.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Sito, for that advice. How about Ma'am Jamie? What's your insight?
Yes, I definitely agree with what Sibyl had shared. It starts with believing yourself. Now, I understand for new leaders, if you're new in that position, sometimes it's easier said than done when you hear it from us, but it's how. So I encourage everyone to attend. Again, mentorship is one, but then again, training is another because it's skills building, it's communication. So Dr. Sands had mentioned a while ago, to invite. So everyone, I know we don't have much time here, but I definitely would want to invite you to connect with me so that I could give you like information, also like my social media. And sometimes I also have like a training program. So my consultancy is Empower to Excel training consultancy. I focus on communication skills. I focus on global communication strategies on how you can actually communicate from conflict resolution, how can I gain confidence when it comes to presenting to other people? So I have different communication courses that help. So the answer to one of the, just to add to what Sibyl had mentioned, all that she said was, please make sure that you put that into practice. And to add on that, for you to actually have that confidence, because that's something that is not so easy to gain. You need an expert trainer, a seasoned trainer who actually had been there. I saw Dr. Ray's comment when he said that, when he was like younger in 22, his team members are older. And I think all of us had experienced that. So it's great to get mentors and trainers who actually had experienced the same. So I'm one of those two wherein I had like 50s or even older who is like I'm leading them. It's not the what, it's the how. So there will be techniques and strategies that you actually have to learn. There's psychology also. There are a lot of things that you have to get to know about yourself. So we start with yourself, and then I usually train also other people, like how to get to know and understand other people too. So there are techniques. It's not the end of the world. So you've got great tips from us. So looking forward that we can help you out when it comes to that. It will come. So slowly but surely, but it starts with believing yourself.
Thank you so much, Miss Jamie. MK.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier that I started working at a very young age. And when I established FH Moms, I was just what, 22 years old. I'm 29 now, by the way. And yeah, I experienced working with, people older than me, and then even the community members that we have inside FH Moms, many of them are in their 40s, in their 50s, and they were all shocked that I'm just in my 20s. And then I have a lot of experience as well as expertise in this field. And maybe because of what Jamie mentioned about the confidence, the things that you've learned in the past, in your work. As for me, I just make sure to not stop learning. So I make sure that I learn from all the trainings. I continue to attend different kind of webinars. I seek all the mentors that I have. So yeah, you really have to prove yourself. That's the reality. So I've been working on myself for so many years just to be here. So that's something that you should do as well. Do anything that you can do to improve yourself.
Thank you so much for all the insights. And to synthesize, a woman leader managing older employees, yeah, they are really facing a unique set of challenges and opportunities that require a blend of empathy, respect, and strategic leadership. So thank you so much for your insights. And for if you have other questions, we will just drop them in the chat box and we will send them to our esteemed panelists and we will provide you their responses. And you can also connect with them. Okay, so what an incredible journey we have shared today. A heartfelt thank you to our speakers, MK Bertolfo, Sybil Gatgood, and Jamie Iris Galias. Let's give them a virtual warm of applause for their empowering stories and invaluable insights. And thank you to each of you for joining us. Together, we're not just witnesses, but active participants in shaping a more inclusive and innovative future. And this webinar, once again, influence and impact how women leadership the future of work has been a testament to the strength, resilience, and leadership of women around the globe. So at this juncture, we request our participants to scan the QR code visible on the screen for direct access to the post-evaluation survey. Your feedback is immensely valuable to us, and you will be receiving your certificates once you have completed this survey. So this time, let us thank our speakers by presenting them our certificate of our appreciation for imparting valuable insights and inspiration to the participants during this international webinar with the topic Influence and Impact, How Women Leaders Shape the Future of Work on March 8, 2024, signed by our society's president, Dr. Ray Femista. The Philippine Society for Quality awards the Certificate of Appreciation to MK Bertolfo. Thank you so much, Ms. MK. Sibyl Gatwood and Miss Jamie Arias Garias. Let's give them once again a warm round of applause. And at this time, allow me to introduce the Philippine Society for Quality and outline its mandates and activities for this 2024. We have been established on May 17, 1969 in collaboration with the Productivity Development Center and 64 chartered members. We stand as a distinguished national organization operating as a non-stop nonprofit. We are committed to promoting and advancing quality practices across diverse industries, and we are embracing a storied legacy and unwavering commitment to excellence. PSQ actively participates in a spectrum of activities, all centered around a quality-driven perspective. And our aim is to cultivate a culture of continuous improvement and innovation. Flash on your screen is the vision and mission of the society. In this dynamic and ever-evolving landscape, we stand as a beacon, guiding individuals and organizations toward the pinnacle of quality. And we have invited renowned quality gurus throughout the years. We have partnered as well with different local and international organizations for collaborative projects, which will greatly benefit our members. And in alignment with our vision, PSQ consistently offers pertinent training and certification activities tailored to the evolving needs of industries. Moreover, the Philippine Society for Quality oversees prestigious awards, including the Juran Medal, the Quality Manager of the Year Award, PH Best Practice Award, and several others. We also facilitate the highest national recognition for exemplary organizational performance of private and public organizations in the country, known as the Philippine Quality Award. So maximize your PSQ membership by also actively participating in the various committees highlighted on the next slide. So please get involved, be engaged, and let's collectively contribute to building a quality-driven nation. You can also consider becoming a part of the various PSQ technical hubs, including the Lean Six Sigma, Quality Management, Kaizen, Innovation, and Digital Thinking, and Educators Network. Together, let's embark on projects that uplift the standard of quality across all aspects of our work. And additionally, we encourage you to please share your knowledge and quality insights by submitting articles for our PSQ Nation magazine. For more details, please refer to the information displayed on your screen. You can also visit our social media pages. And as part of our communication initiatives to connect with our members, please consider joining our PSQ Community Viber channel to stay informed about the various activities of the society. And we are also very thrilled to announce an exciting sponsorship for our Ugnayan benchmarking event, courtesy of Amherst Laboratories. We extend our sincere gratitude to them for their support. If you're interested in joining, please make sure to register soon as the event is limited only to 50 participants. So don't miss this exclusive opportunity to be part of something worldwide. And we are excited to announce the commencement of the search for the esteemed Juran Medal and the Quality Manager of the Year Award. This is a wonderful opportunity to recognize and celebrate outstanding contributions in the field of quality management. So if you know an individual who has established a significant career in quality management and made a profound impact on their organizations and communities, we encourage you to nominate them. For more details, please visit our social media pages. And moving forward in collaboration with the Indonesia Quality and Productivity Management Association, our society is thrilled to host the 2024 International Quality and Productivity Convention. This event is scheduled to take place from September 9 to 12, 2024 at the Manila Hotel. Also, the 34th National Quality Forum is set to take place on September 12 to 13, 2024, immediately following the 2024 International Quality and Productivity Convention at the Manila Hotel. So if you are interested, please reach out to our secretariat or visit our social media pages for more details. Feel free also to email our secretariat at secretariat@psq.org.ph. And as we conclude Let's carry forward the inspiration and strategies we've gained today into our lives and workspaces. Remember, each of us has the power to influence and impact the future of work. Stay connected, keep inspiring, and continue to lead with courage and compassion. Until next time, take care and keep making waves. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye po.